Hi, and welcome to Disctv, the show that brings you the world of disc golf. I'm Brian Sullivan, and this week we're in the greater Chicago area for the Shorewood Shootout. Now this course is a little shorter than we're used to seeing on the show, which leaves a very good possibility we may see an ace this weekend. So don't go anywhere, because Disctv is on the air right now. Also this week, we'll talk disc golf with the Lizard Lawyer. He's former PDGA competition director Mark Ellis. It's all about disc golf. This is Disctv.
Good. Pause.
Disctv is brought to you in part by the Professional Disc Golf Association, guiding disc golf into the future. Maceman Disc Golf Gear, simply the best. Gateway Golf Discs, winning discs of the 2002 Great Lakes Open. And DiscLife.com, the world leader in disc golf. Let's get the scoops on the Shorewood Shootout. We're here with Tournament Director Gary Lewis. Gary, first of all, a little bit of history about this event.
Well, actually, this event is only about 3 years old now. The course was an old course in the state of Illinois. It was put in '81, and then it was removed for quite a few years. And we actually just got it in 3 years ago, and so this is our actual third Shorewood Shootout that we're having today.
It's a very nice park here at Shorewood Park. Tell us about the course and the challenges that these players are going to be facing.
It's one of the most unique courses in the state, I'd say, because it's one thing, it's a lefty course. It's a short course, but it's a very tricky course. It has holes that are 150 foot long that are actually very difficult to get, and it's punctuated by 6 mandatories. It has original mandatories, and we're testing our new mandatory rule here today.
So, especially for the open players, this may become a deuce or die course.
Absolutely, it's the Shorewood Shootout.
And
so,
which players have you got your eye on?
I would say for the open division, we have Sean Harmon and Darren Johnson are probably a couple of strong competitors from the Joliet area. Jason McKinney in the advanced, and probably Andy Rivers will be tough in the advanced. In the amateurs, Frank Grimes will be really a tough player. He's an older player. He's in his 50s.
Gary Lewis, we look forward to spending some more time with you later. Right now, let's take you out to the action. The Shorewood Disc Golf Course in Shorewood, Illinois is like many of the more recreational courses you'll find around the country. Planted here among other park facilities, the holes are a little shorter than competition courses, but the smiles are just as wide and the shots are just as exciting. Now the format this weekend is 3 rounds of 18 holes, plus a final 7 for the top divisions. And first to the women, where we find a true up-and-comer. Her name is Kelly Crass. And seeing her skills left us little doubt that we'll be seeing more of Crass's talent on the PDGA Tour in the coming years. Although still an amateur, Kelly Crass is clearly thinking and throwing like a pro. Check this expertly thrown skip shot to avoid going long and out of bounds. Throughout this tournament, Crass was going head-to-head against some strong talent, including Sandy DeHaan, whose solid putting kept her near the lead, and smooth approaches kept her within the putting zone. Focus was the key to Kathy Cam's game, especially when it came to putting. Cam's was consistently able to pick a target link within the chains and to send her putter home. But as good as her putting was, she and DeHaan could not keep pace with Kelly Crass, who brought her full bag and her full game to the Shorewood Shootout. Look at this driving form. Scissor step footwork, the long reach back, and a complete follow-through led Crass to the basket on nearly every hole. Kelly Crass had it all this weekend. Clean drives that almost always had the distance, and a putting game that some pros would be jealous of. Again, watch the form. Her eyes are locked onto the target, her shoulders are square to the basket, and her left leg back for stability. She rocks back to shift her momentum, then a full arm extension that sends the disc in a very slight up and down arc directly into the target. And that is a strong putt. Crass also had an impressive approach game this weekend. She wasn't afraid to run the basket, as she does here from about 170 feet out. If running the basket meant a 30-foot comeback putt, Crass had the confidence and skill to keep it in the chains. So heads up to the top pro women like Corver, King, Herndon, and Redding. It won't be long before Kelly Crass of Illinois comes gunning for you too. Now to the pro men. Here's the rifleman, aka Alex Bingman. He's got the height and the distance. Oh, dial 911, there has been a robbery. Bingman would suffer a few too many injustices this weekend and missed out on the final cut. Here's Dan Pastore. This guy had it going on with 2 rounds of 8 under par and another at 9 under. His putting game had a lot to do with those low scores. The big shot from 40 feet out, and this one is gonna be good. If you asked Pastore how he kept hitting the long shots to keep pace with some of the state's best disc golfing talent, his answer, well, I don't know. Chris Hutter is a young pro player from Joliet, and his strategy at the Shorewood shootout was to keep his drives near the basket. But on the off chance that a drive came up short, Hutter had the goods, which brought him a tasty 10 under par first round to take the early lead. Darren Johnson also had a big round. A tournament best 12 under par second round kept Johnson with the leaders. You bet his drives were nice, but Johnson just could not miss a putt. Here's Sean Harmon, a player who will vary his putting style according to his needs. Short putt, slight hyzer. Long putt, great big hyzer. It worked for him, and Harmon turned it on in the final round with a 12 under par 42 that blasted him from the back of the pack all the way into a 2-stroke lead. And that's where we sit after regulation. The final 7 holes are coming up.
Disc golf is a very fun and exciting game, but it is also a very dangerous game. I was hit in the back of the head 4 years ago by one of these, at about 85 miles an hour. It pushed the back of my brain in so hard that my eyes have to stay this way for the rest of my life. I love the game, I still play, but all I'm saying is, when someone says heads up, put your head down. Have a good game. I'm Jim Glape.
It's time for After the Round, when we sit down and talk disc golf with a legend of the game. This week we're pleased to have with us Mark Ellis. Mark, thanks for being here. Good to see you.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Now, Mark, if for those of you who don't know him, and there's not many disc golfers who don't know Mark Ellis, you are a legend of the game for many reasons. You've been around a long time. You've spent 3.5 terms on the board of directors of the Professional Disc Golf Association. You have been tournament director of a number of events, including one of the TDs for Worlds 2000, one of the biggest event in the game. You've done a lot of things in the game.
I've thrown a lot of bad shots as well. You get famous for that.
Tell me a little bit about how you got started in disc golf.
I was a tournament racquetball player, and I was nearing the end of my racquetball career. Why? They're kicking me out of amateur, and I had no prayer in heck of ever playing pro. The level is just beyond me, and I was 39 years old. So my racquetball doubles partner, Darren Harper, now a top Frisbee professional, comes to me one day and says, "Hey, I found Frisbee golf." And I said, "Darren, I played Frisbee in college. Let's do it." And I played one racquetball tournament after that.
Wow.
Didn't take a single practice day in racquetball after finding Frisbee golf.
Wow.
I knew the first hour that I had a new sport.
What was it about disc golf that, clearly you loved racquetball and you just gave it up like that?
Well, you don't have to run in Frisbee golf. You know, I could shoot pretty good at racquetball, and strategy and serving and shooting, and I was just at that stuff. But I didn't have fabulous wheels. So I found Frisbee golf and I said, you know, you don't have to run. All you have to do is throw shots. And of course, racquetball backhand is like a Frisbee backhand. Racquetball forehand is like a Frisbee forehand. I said, this is gonna work.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you are known as one of the best forehand shot throwers in the game. Let's talk a little bit about that shot. Why did you choose it, and why do you think so few other disc golfers use that shot?
Well, more and more people are going to it. Why? Because you essentially need every shot in the game. At some point, you have no choice. You're in a bush, you've got one shot, it's a lean out forehand, you will throw a forehand. And if you're ever gonna throw a shot, you should practice it and be good at it because you're stuck with that shot. So I've been playing about 3 years and I threw backhand like almost everybody else did. And I didn't have much power, but loved it. And I found that my right knee, chronic tendonitis, wouldn't let me throw backhand shots. I had no choice. It was either develop a forehand or find a new sport.
And the forehand shot really takes so much less energy than a backhand shot. You know,
Darn right.
So why don't more people use it?
The margin of error is smaller on a forehand shot. If you miss just a little bit, you miss a lot. And so therefore it requires more practice to develop competency in it. Most of the good pros are intrinsically fine, powerful athletes. And they throw backhand shots because they're so darn good that that's what they do. And they view forehand as a get out of trouble shot.
Now, Mark Ellis, I know you are an aficionado of course design. So let's talk a little bit about course design. First of all, what makes a good course design in your mind?
Well, a great course will challenge every part of your game. That is, it should be relatively balanced. There should be straight shots, there should be shots that turn to the right, there should be shots that turn to the left. And they should be relatively even. 6 straight, 6 right, 6 left. If you do that and make a long, tough course, what you're going to do is you're going to create in the future fabulous golfers. Why? Because they are trained in the difficult situation of having to learn every shot. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of courses that are designed by people that want to throw good scores. And since most people are right-handed and throw backhanded, there are many courses where you throw righty backhand hyzers every time, darn near every hole. And that's great. You throw really good scores, but it doesn't train you for a difficult shot. And the guy, you know, I mean, most people have a home course and they play that course, what, 80, 90% of the time. They occasionally play something else, but they play their home course. And if you happen to live on a righty backhand hyzer course, you develop a great righty hyzer backhand. Then you go to a good course, that's only 1/3 of the course.
Right.
And then they ask you to throw straight shots. You say, I don't know how to do that. Then they ask you to throw and hyzer. You say, I have no idea how to do that. And so, you know, I mean, the great players can play any shot. And the better the player, the harder the course they appreciate. This is a fabulous course. It is a fabulous course. If you can master this course, there are not many courses you can't master. I mean, imagine if your home course is so difficult that by becoming great here, you're great pretty much everywhere. This course will develop champions. You take a little dumb righty hyzer short dink course, you're not going to develop champions. If you never have to be good, you never will be.
Now, what about a short course for recreational players? For example, in the middle of a college campus, a short 18-hole, you know, every hole is 150, 200 feet.
Any course is better than no course. Okay? So yes, does a short course have its purpose? And are there recreational situations? Absolutely, no question about it. But we're now talking about more competitive tournament, you know, situations.
So give me a couple of examples other than Vallarta Ast here in Madison that you think are just exceptional championship disc golf courses.
All 3 courses of tournament are exceptional. All 3 courses are. High Stand, is that how it's pronounced? High Stand, and Elver, fabulous courses.
What about outside of the Wisconsin area?
Outside of Wisconsin, I mean, obviously Michigan has a lot of tremendous courses. I mean, the Kensington courses, the pretty much anything that is designed by Jim Kenner or Gunnars Nollendorf in Michigan, or Jaybird is going to be a great course because they understand course design.
If some of our viewers are beginning to get into the process of building their own course and they're
Sure.
looking for help in design,
Yes.
have you got somewhere where you can suggest they go?
Well, yes, call the great designers. The great designers in Frisbee golf. I mean, who are we talking about? Gunnars Nollendorf in Michigan is absolutely fabulous. John Houck in Texas is absolutely fabulous. Harold Duvall in South Carolina is absolutely fabulous. You are never going to play any of their courses that are not fabulous. Why? Because they understand the concepts. They understand making different challenges. And if you play one of their courses, if you have a weakness, it will be exposed every time.
And if you're looking for help in contacting any of those course designers, go to the folks at the Professional Disc Golf Association, pdga.com. Mark Ellis, thanks so much for your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks, Brian. Good talking to you.
You too. What we're looking at now is the leaderboard. This is where you come to check your scores, see how you're doing compared to everyone else. You can see it's broken down by division. The amateurs are here, then we go to the masters, the grandmasters, the juniors, and so on. Now the leaders are at the top of each division. In the amateurs, Nate Lopez is leading with a 45 right now. Now you might also notice that scorecards are here on them as well. These have been placed here by the tournament director in preparation for the next round. And the person at the top of each card is going to be responsible for taking the scorecard out with them for the next round. A tournament is another great place to find disc golf gear. If you're looking for frisbees, if you're looking for bags, if you're looking for shirts, a tournament usually has a good stock of stuff. I mean, look at that, that's beautiful. So you've got your discs, your putters, your approaches, your drivers, you've got cool t-shirts, you've got hats, you've got bags. So there's so many reasons to come to a tournament, not the least being you can fill your bag with cool stuff. It's time to take a closer look at one of the holes that we're going to be shooting at the Shorewood Shootout this weekend. We're going to play hole 1 here. Now, Gary, this is a fairly typical hole for the course. Tell us a little bit about it.
This is just kind of a short little accuracy hole. You got to bust through the alley here and get it turned right. It's a new hole, actually. The whole original hole used to be over here, and now we moved it into this area here. Kind of a nice hole.
So we have a narrow fairway here to get through. What's our distance?
I think the hole's 189.
Now, for a right-handed player, this is going to be an Anheuser shot that's fairly typical for this course, isn't
Absolutely. This is definitely a lefty course. There's no doubt about it.
it? And what kind of trouble do we have here? Should we, if we're not going to be right under the basket, is it better to be off to the left or to the right?
Yeah, probably a little bit to the left. On the right side, it's completely wooded. There's a ravine here. There's another creek ravine behind the hole, and there's out of bounds past the hole, a fence. So basically, you want to try to get out here and into the opening that we're seeing. If you get there, you can get a putt.
Let's see if we can get there without getting in trouble.
Okay.
A little short, was it?
A little short.
Okay. So Gary, what kind of casual play does the course get?
This course gets quite a bit of play, actually. It has declined because we just had it in a few years now again, but a lot of people like playing this course. It's a very unique course, designed by a left-hander, and it's kind of a fun playing course. It's not a big power course. It's just kind of quick, plays fun. You can play the course in an hour and a half.
From the look of the pads and the paths, it looks like it's very well used.
No kidding.
And I am going to be out, it looks like.
Ooh, nice try, Brian.
putt. Pair of threes it is. Gary, thanks for showing us around.
Thanks for coming, Brian.
It's Shorewood Park in Illinois, just west of Chicago. If you're looking for directions, go to pdga.com and check out the online course directory. We're with Frank Grimes, the Grandmaster Amateur winner this weekend. Frank, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice trophy. Take a look at that. Got a little beveled edge on it. Now, Frank, tell me, what do you like about playing in the amateur divisions?
Well, the camaraderie, guys, my age group and stuff, and it's just fun. The outside, all that, the nature.
And how did you shoot today?
I did very well today. That's surprising for me.
What was the key to your victory?
Well, I don't know. Focus, I guess. Just relax and focus in, and just work it out.
We look forward to seeing you out here again. Thanks.
I'll be here a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we're into the finals of the putting contest. Let me explain what's happening. Everyone here earlier in the first round got 15 points or more in the round 9. Now they have 2 opportunities from each station to make one in. If they don't get one of those 2 shots in from each station, they're out. Last one alive wins. The pressure is on. So beautiful. You guys do such a good job.
Well, you're gonna like this hole.
All right, show me what are we doing here? Where are we going?
Well, we're teeing off behind the water here, and we're going out about 390. It's a slight turnover for a backhand, and or you could do a roller.
Okay.
But it's a hard 3, so take your 3 and go on.
Now,
You can.
I know I want to get to the opening here, and then there's a pit. What's up with the pit? Is there water in there? Are there gators in there?
There's no water there. It's just a hole that we dug to fill up the house with fill when we built the house, and we added onto it. We added a tier behind it, so it's a really interesting hole.
Should I worry about the pit, or can I land in there?
I say if you can land in the pit on your first shot, you got it very good.
All right, let's throw this bad
Okay.
boy right here. What are you throwing here, Larry?
I'm throwing a banshee today. It's throw it nice and hard and low, try and get over the flowers and go into the pit.
So you got a forehand.
I'm going to forehand. I always forehand.
All right, show me the way.
Okay.
Don't hit your wife's flowers. I don't want to get in trouble.
That should be a safe shot.
Home course advantage right there. You're in the open. Very nice.
Yeah, 110 feet to go.
All right, I've got a lightweight, stable driver here. I have not thrown this before, so my excuses are starting already. That is not going to turn over.
There's this.
Yar.
Arr.
Can I get some chains? No chains. Chains. Anyone?
Rattle the chains.
I think I'm on my own here.
I think you're on your own.
I'm sorry about your wife's flowers here,
No
Larry.
big deal. These are my flowers.
Coming out. Oh, that's going to be short.
Got on this edge of the rocks, you'll be fine.
Man, this is tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
But wow, I mean, this is such a cool green. Man, you've got the pit. You've got an elevated, nasty green. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah,
See you 2.
that'd be nice.
Come on, home course advantage, right?
We'll see. Oh, but it's right on top.
Nice bid.
Yeah.
Nice bid.
Better safe than sorry sometimes.
Oh, I like this, Larry. When you get tired after a couple of holes,
Yeah.
you know, lounge in the hammock for a while.
You had a pretty good out from back there. Let's make the putt now.
Well, let's see what happens.
Oh, don't roll. Don't. Oh.
Okay. I
Oh.
can live with that.
Yeah, I think you're still out.
I'm still out. Okay, Larry, I'm gonna have to ask you to forgive me for not using a mini here.
Okay, no problem.
I've never made a putt at this kind of elevation. This is cool.
And you still haven't. Come on, you got to make this one.
You've
now.
taught
You've
me
fallen into
a
the
lesson.
trap. Oh, that away. A lot of people have done that. Don't feel too bad.
Larry, that was the best 5 I ever took.
Well, thanks for coming out and enjoying the place.
Oh man, thanks for showing us around.
Yep. Come on anytime you want.
Do you call it Ast Acres, or do you have
no,
a...
it's Red Pines Ace Club, we call her. Red Pines.
It's a private course in Madison, Wisconsin, but if you can track Larry down, maybe he'll let you come play. Thanks again.
Thank you.